Okay, for real this time. Hey guys, it's been a while. I do apologize for it taking as long as it has for me to get stuff out. That's on me. I had some family come and visit, and then of course, just doing real life stuff. And sometimes you gotta take YouTube in the back seat, just kind of chill. Just kind of let it do its thing. But we're back. We're gonna do a couple reactions, and then my brother's here too, so we're gonna start doing some content and probably some gaming stuff. So keep your eye out for that. We're just gonna do when a cop accidentally records something shocking. Simple as that, right? So yeah, man, let's just get into it. Bah.
Calling in Thomas and Dexter Avenue North. I think somebody's dead.
So I believe it's going to be Carr versus.
Good start. Already a good start. I believe somebody's dead. Great start. So it's gonna be one of these videos. Hell yeah.
PED, and they're doing CPR. I'm sorry, Fire, I don't have more for you, but it just occurred, and I believe the officer's involved.
She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
Were you aware that it was being recorded? No, I was not.
When police received
way.
disturbing information in reference to a potential overdose, a race to the scene will trigger a sequence of shocking tragedies. On January 23, 2022 at 8 p.m.
Dude, it's gonna be one of those, dude. Oh, no way, bro. See, so my opinion I'll have right off the bat, so it's not like new to anybody. I think there are good cops out there. I think there are more good than bad cops out there. But the bad ones give the good ones such a bad rep to where it's going to be such an issue, because that's what's going to start your riots. That's going to start the mistrust with the police stations and all that. And trust me, there's a lot of mistrust, and the cops don't help themselves. I'm sorry, they don't. They don't do enough to really give us a reason to really trust you guys. Like, yeah, you'll stop all your crime and all that, and we get your people at the end of the day, but the wrong people get this job, and it shows. It really does. And I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those episodes where it's just, oh yeah, he just him doing his job, making bad jokes, and not taking his job nearly as seriously as they should. I've seen many videos like this, so this isn't going to surprise me in the least bit.
p.m., Seattle police dispatchers receive a call that will set in motion a night of both madness and scandal.
It's hard to think.
Okay, that happens. All right, well, just try to relax and think with me. Have you done cocaine before?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Do you think you've overdosed on it?
I think so, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to get you some help, all right?
Okay.
So stand by.
Can I have your name, please?
No.
Just so we know who we're looking for. We're getting some assistance to you as quick as we can right now.
Well, like I was, no, you can't have my
Call
name.
me
It's okay.
Alex.
Alex, did you want to give your last name?
No, I'm okay. I'm just kind of freaking out right now.
First responders and a medic team are quickly
Dude's having a bad
dispatched to
trip.
Alex's location, 6th Street North.
Yeah, dude sounds like he's having a bad trip. He sounds like he's all there, but it just sounds like one of those, like he's kind of, his paranoia is starting to kick in. You know, that ain't no big deal. That happens to everybody.
Downtown, first en route.
Even people who get really, really drunk. That happens to them too. I mean, you just get really, really messed up, and it's like, oh, whoops. I don't think I'm okay. And it turns out you're fine. You're just kind of, your mind's playing tricks on you.
Is Officer Kevin Dave, who speeds into action in his single officer cruiser. A fire and medical
He looks like a piece of shit. I'm just going to start that off really, really quick. All right, continue.
team prepare to meet him on 6th Street. Officer Dave swerves his police SUV through downtown traffic, flashing his lights and blasting his siren to warn oncoming traffic and pedestrians. In overdose cases, every moment counts. He's approaching the intersection of Dexter Street and Thomas Street, a 2-lane road with a bike lane and a construction site obscuring a portion of the sidewalk from view. Officer Dave speeds through this 25-mile-per-hour zone when the catastrophic happens. Some of the following footage has been redacted out of respect for the victim.
Primary 2, started supervisor, start fire for a struck pedestrian.
Off-screen, Officer Dave quickly jumps out of his vehicle and dashes out into Dexter Street. Moments later, we hear the unmistakable sounds of emergency CPR. Tragically, a pedestrian had been struck.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Despite Dave's persistent CPR, the pedestrian remains unresponsive.
At 30, pause.
4, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Up.
1, 2, 3,
Oh, no,
4,
he's dead.
5,
Oh.
6, 7, You all right?
No, I'm not all right.
Dave soon notifies dispatch, and a squadron of police cruisers and ambulances descend on the scene to assist.
So someone's doing CPR, Dexter, North, and Thomas. I'm sorry, Fire, I don't have more for you, but it just occurred, and I believe the officer's involved.
So the officer may be involved.
The officer's not hurt, though.
By now, Alex has been given proper medical assistance, and all attention has shifted to the tragedy unfolding in downtown Seattle.
See, that's crazy. It's kind of one of those like, who's at fault? You know, it's like, you know, you had your sirens going, you had everything going. You could tell the person was trying to cross over real quick, which is never a smart thing to do. But when you're supposed to be going 25, even if you are a police officer, you do have road rules. If you're supposed to be going that fast, you should only be going that fast, you know, maybe a little over, whatever. But you got to be eyes open at all times. I mean, it's your job. Excuse me, my throat's all messed up today. Damn, dude, that's tragic. That really sucks. Like, that blows. That's kind of both, you know, the pedestrian and the police officer on that one. And that's just an unfortunate case for everybody.
Dispatchers are now receiving calls from eyewitnesses who will prove a crucial role in the investigation that will come later.
Was it like a vehicle hit a pedestrian? What happened?
Correct. They're doing CPR right now. The person was crossing the road, and I think police were going fast, so they hit them.
Hold on.
I'm not sure if there's anything I need to do. There's 2 police officers here, and I think there's another one coming right now.
Officer Dave's colleagues comfort him as he describes what went down.
I was on the crosswalk. She saw me. She started running through the crosswalk. Slammed on my brakes. Instead of staying back where she should before crossing.
5, 6, 7. Bye-bye.
He's showing remorse, you know. I mean, as of now, at least.
The same cannot be said for the young woman lying unresponsive in the street, a 23-year-old grad student. Despite medics' best attempts, she passes away after being transported to the hospital.
That's a shame.
Yeah, Dave, you okay? Physically? No medical issue. No medical issues.
Okay. I'm not going to ask any questions, but I just don't want you to know that I'm here for you. That we're going to get you everything that you need, okay? Okay?
Thanks, Elton.
All right, man.
While the true intentions behind the officer's assertion that he won't ask questions is unknown, it's possible he's trying to protect Officer Dave. Clearly, body cameras are rolling and documenting the conversation. There are also labor and department policies involved in these types of situations. Some agencies won't allow a responding officer to question an involved officer and require an internal group or external law enforcement agency to do so. One important purpose of this type of policy is to maintain impartiality. Many police are represented by unions, and it's possible that it could be against union rules for officers to question each other without the presence of a union representative.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's pretty spot on. You can't really answer questions legally. I get that. Whatever. I mean, you know, I used to be a part of a union. I get, like, unions have their own set of rules that you got to kind of abide by. Obviously never a police union, but, you know, a union nonetheless. Oh, dude, that's just heartbreaking still. I mean, you know, all the emotions flooding through everybody at that point. It's just got to be excruciating.
Counsel, or both. As stated, the specifics of this particular incident are unknown, and these photos of the aftermath were taken, and evidence was tagged and inventoried. Officer Dave's cruiser, a Ford Police Interceptor, had sustained heavy damage to its front push bar, passenger side headlights, and minor cracks to its front windshield. Debris was scattered across the cold Seattle pavement. 2 AirPods were found, presumably ejected from the pedestrian's ears at the moment of contact. Body cam footage from Officer Dave's cruiser was inventoried and sent to the police archive to be reviewed during a pending internal investigation. Another police body cam would later elevate this freak accident to the level of international scandal. Several witnesses later told what they saw from where they stood on the sidewalk that fateful night.
I was trailing behind them. We changed sides of the street to avoid a construction zone. They were ahead of me. They were crossing the street. We heard a siren. I heard a siren. I would presume the pedestrian also heard a siren. I observed them beginning to run, presumably to exit the roadway as they heard a siren approaching. And then I heard a loud thump, and I observed the police officer come to a halt. I was not far behind them, so I was coming into view of Dexter Street.
It was very quick.
You saw the collision. What happened after that?
So that person kind of got kicked by the car into the air, and they flew in the air about 10 meters in the northbound direction.
Certain factors were suspected to have contributed to the deadly collision. A construction site leading up the east of Dexter Street significantly obscured driver vision, and a partly see-through metal chain fence led out to the edge of the road. Orange construction barricades also partially obstructed view of the intersection from afar. The pedestrian was evidently already walking outside the crosswalk when Officer Dave began to approach in his cruiser. She was possibly wearing AirPods that could have made hearing police sirens difficult. Later analysis of the footage revealed that Officer Dave had performed proper collision avoidance, braking, and emergency steering to the center of the street. He'd initiated his siren appropriately moments before the collision. Unfortunately, the Ford Cruiser was too powerful to be slowed by a short period of braking, and the steering didn't effectively change the direction. Officer Dave is sent to the West Precinct and is met by Officer Daniel.
Yeah, that's one of those, like, even if you did everything right, a freak accident like that, there's nothing you're really going to be able to do. You know, you're going to hit. I mean, when you're going whatever speed you're going and you're in certain cars, they just can't stop. You know, they don't stop on a dime. We're not technically like there yet when it comes to what we have. You know, they can't stop right then and there. You know, the force, that's not how physics works. You know, if it's going in motion, it's going to stay in motion. Even with kinetic energy, with the tires going on the road and everything, it still takes time to slow down. Oh, goddamn. That is horrible. That is, oh, shit. Like, even the pedestrian, especially if, like, she had headphones in and she can't hear anything. Like, holy shit, man. Like, what are you going to do about that?
Orderer from the DUI squad, whose duties include investigating drivers for signs of impairment. It's protocol to have drivers evaluated in serious injury or fatality collisions. After completing his testing of Officer Dave, Officer Orderer concludes that Dave has exhibited no signs of impairment and is safe to operate a motor vehicle. Weeks later, police archivists were routinely going over body cam footage to prepare for internal review and analysis. In the process, they stumbled on a potentially problematic piece of audio captured by Officer Orderer's body cam immediately following his session with Officer Dave. The body cam had recorded Officer Orderer's side of a phone conversation with Mike Solon, the president of the...
Hey, what I said about Officer Dave earlier, I take it back. My bad, dog. I thought you were going to be the asshole in this. It looks like you're actually not, and I feel bad for you, dude. Like, that's tragic. You know, I mean, my we've seen people get hit by cars all the time, and that shit that's horrible to live with, you know, especially when you've seen it. Damn, dog, that's awful, you know. But let's see what these jerk-offs do to make everything so much better.
The Seattle Police Officers Guild.
Yeah, totally. All right, brother. Well, yep. I'm sure TCIS is. And, he was good. He says, well, normally we don't give voluntary statements. And I said, hey, you're going to have to decide if you wanted to give a statement or not. But it does not seem like there's a criminal investigation going on. Yeah, I mean... He's going 50. That's not out of control. That's not reckless for a trained driver. Yeah, lights and sirens. Yeah, well, there's some. Initially, he said she was in a crosswalk. There's a witness that says no, she wasn't.
Unfortunately, witness statements aren't always reliable. Clearly, the victim was in the crosswalk at the time of impact.
Yeah. But that witness could be different because I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead.
Dude. Dude. And these are the kind of cops that ruin it for everybody. This guy right here. This literally happened not hours beforehand. Like, not hours after everything just happened, and now you have to go and laugh and joke about how she's dead and everything, and how she wasn't thrown. But dude, what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing with your life, bro? Like, you're the problem. You are the problem. Oh, please tell me he gets fired. Please, for the love of God.
No, it's a regular person.
Tell me he's fired now.
Yeah. Yeah, just write a check. Just $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
Apparently, Daniel was unaware
Christ.
that his body cam was still recording. Through extensive police analysis, it was determined that Officer Dave had been going upwards of 70 miles per hour and that the pedestrian had been flung nearly 140 feet. The body cam video was brought to light, allegedly by a leak to the media, and complaints from outraged citizens began pouring in. It turns out that Daniel Otterer's duties went beyond those of the DUI force. He also served as vice president for the Seattle Police Officers Guild.
No way.
With pressure mounting, the Police Officers Guild issued a press release addressing the alleged misconduct.
Alleged? I mean, I'm pretty sure we all saw and heard the whole thing. No way, dude. No way.
In that they claimed that Officer Otterer's comments had been taken out of context. Within days, the Office of Police Accountability had received a complaint that alleged Officer Otterer had violated department policy. Officer Otterer initially requested a rapid adjudication, a mechanism of the police bureaucracy that would waive a full investigation in exchange for minor discipline. But his request was denied. Officer Otterer and Union President Solon were both promptly brought in to give official statements. They were interviewed by Sergeant Corey George of Seattle's Office of Police Accountability, a police task force that works to ensure professionalism and safeguard against unethical or inappropriate police behavior.
Your body-worn video captured a conversation between yourself and Officer Solon. Can you explain the content and context of the phone call?
I was finished and I was heading home, and we were talking about, because I had very limited information on scene, so I was telling what I kind of knew at the time, and those details always change during the course of an investigation. Officer Solon was talking about what could anybody do? What can anybody say about this? And that was kind of the context of the conversation. I remember earlier in the conversation where we spoke about, boy, it never stops. It's always something happening. We were talking about that. And then this was a conversation about maybe things we knew at the time.
So I'm going to tell you this now. I am no psychologist, but I get when you can pick up when someone is literally full of shit. Like, I mean, he's full of shit. That's garbage. That is complete and utter garbage. You laugh. You already blatantly stated basically why you were laughing too. She's 26. Who gives a shit anyway? $11,000 check. There you go. You know, it's like you're talking about what's going to come out of this. You can't save your ass. At this point, you may as well just fucking say, dude, you know what? Poor taste. You know, just take it, eat it. You'll get demoted. You know, you're going to have to take an L because you did something really fucking stupid. And now lying about it, well, given the cops will probably see that they're fine. He's probably still working nowadays because they don't ever get anything but a slap on the wrist. But, dude, nah, man. Yeah, you're full of it. I don't like this. Like, I came into this video ready to make fun of some dumb shit, but it turned out to be a real serious video just to prove that I don't watch any of these beforehand. I just react to it live. Oh my God, bro. If I was that kid's parent, well, that young lady's parents, bro, I would be suing their ass off and I would be fucking furious. Like, absolutely furious, because that is a whole lot of bullshit.
And then, this is awful. What can attorneys possibly say about that? And that was the end of the conversation.
Were you aware that it was being recorded?
No, I was not.
It has been alleged that you violated SPD Policy Manual Section 5.001, Standards and Duties, subsection 10, employees shall strive to be professional. What is your understanding of this policy section?
I understand it very well. You don't want to do anything that could potentially diminish trust in the police department.
You just did it.
Cast doubt on an investigation.
You just did it.
Or cause a problem where the police department might have to explain something.
You're doing it now.
Do you believe that you violated
He's going to say no, isn't he?
I did not violate
Yeah,
that policy. It was a private conversation. In a car, alone.
I
that
hate this
just
guy.
happened to be recorded by my camera turning on.
That's garbage.
Probably when I made a U-turn,
That's
or
garbage.
another car could have simply passed by.
Next came Mike Solon, Daniel's boss and good friend.
At one point, Officer Otterer says she's dead and begins laughing shortly thereafter. Do you recall what you said to Officer Otterer to make him laugh?
I remarked on how he commented on how fast the officer was traveling and how she unfortunately was struck by the police vehicle and how that she hit the windshield of the vehicle. And I was remarking that she was more than likely dead instantly, which was a tragedy. And I said that the city is going to have to pay out a lot of money on this one. And that was the context of the conversation.
So
at one point, Officer Otterer mentions just write a check. Then he laughs for a few seconds and says $11,000. She was 26 anyways. She had limited value. Do you recall what you stated to Officer Otterer to have him elicit that response?
Well, there was remarking on how the city is going to have to pay out a ton of money to the family in this tragic situation. And then how can the city, lawyers in general, speaking and negotiating on the city's behalf with the family, how do you put a price tag on human life? And that was the crux of the conversation.
You just did.
So you don't
time out,
believe
time
that
out,
in
time
the...
out. I'm sorry, time out. I know they're going to probably get into this. You literally just said $11,000. You put a price tag on a life. You guys are probably bullshitting, joking back and forth about how, oh, who gives a shit? It's just another dead body. And everything you're saying, you did. You weren't remorseful. You were probably joking around, trying to bullshit with the guys. But it's like this is something that I have dark humor. I have a dark sense of humor. You know, I can make fun of a lot of things that a lot of people probably shouldn't make fun of, and I don't give a shit. You know, I'm not going to apologize for it. But you don't do it when you're at work. You know, like, even if you have that dark sense of humor where you're going to make fun of what just happened, which, you know, take it as it is. I'm not here to, you know, whatever, but not at work right after it happens, and then you're just joking about someone who died. You know, like, if someone died right in front of me, I'm not making a joke about it 5 minutes later. Like, that's something that, hey, one of your fellow officers has to live with for the rest of their life, A. And B, now you're leaked on the internet, and now you're going to kill whatever public, like, what is it? Like, just the public's going to hate you. You know, end of the story. The public's going to fucking hate you because your guts are just destroyed. You've just took a shit right in everyone's face and said, yeah, you know, we don't take our job very seriously. Like, yeah, we'll stop what we have to stop because it's our job, but we're just here to get a paycheck. We don't really care about the safety of others. We'll make fun of you if you're dead.
You know, the laughing.
This isn't the 70s and 80s anymore. Like, that's what I really wanted to get into. Like, back then when, I don't care what you say, policing was a lot different, a lot more harder, and they didn't give a shit about a lot of different types of people. And we all know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Was making light of the situation or laughing at the fact that somebody had died.
Yep.
I think without context, just hearing the audio, which was unfortunately captured in a private phone call, you could have that as a reasonable takeaway.
Dude, and they keep using it as, oh yeah, it's a private phone call. So what? You're still on a police cruiser, probably on a company phone at that, on duty after it just happened. The public can still shit on you because of that, and they have every right to.
Police officers, we deal with tragedy almost on a daily basis. And we're human beings just like the next person.
Okay.
But we have to process these in a manner that allows us to go to that next tragic event. And humor and sarcasm is used for us.
That's not
a coping mechanism.
That's not going to cut it.
In response to the events, the Seattle Police Department announced on September 28, 2023, that Officer Daniel Otterer would be reassigned to a non-operational position. Records show that over his 12 years on the police force, he had been investigated dozens of times for various incidents.
Look at
the
that.
victim, Janavi Kandula, was 23 years old and a graduate student when she met her tragic death on Dexter Street. In September of 2023, Northeastern University in Washington elected to award their mourned student a posthumous degree.
That's awesome. I mean, at least, you know, at least her family gets something to really, like, you know, hang their hat on. It's not, you know, she lost her life, so it's not really, you know, yay, this is awesome, but it is still one of those, like, you know, this is great. You know, we've seen, my wife and I have seen it where, you know, someone passes away, they'll still get their degree. I think ours was a high school degree when someone passed away. So, you know, it happens. It's awesome to see. It's a great award to have somebody posthumously, oh my God, I can't say it, after their death. Okay, I'm going to just, after their death. I'm not going to poke a joke right there. I'm glad he was demoted. All seriousness, but dude, there's just no need for that shit. There's really not. You know, there's a time and place for everything. You know, there's a time and place for humor. There's a time and place for joking. There's a time and place for absolutely everything. And that is not the time and place for it. What they did was absolutely wrong. Absolutely just horrendous. And that's just complete and utter bullshit. You know, and at the end of the day, I hope the officer who hit the young lady, you know, it wasn't his fault. You know, it really wasn't. So no one can go take their blame out on them. It happens. You know, it's unfortunate. It's an emergency situation. Was he going a little fast? Sure, but he had all the right precautions. And what's their standards and practices and stuff? Should she have seen the light? Should she have heard the sirens? You know, a lot of things just went wrong. And that happens. But the fact that these idiots just went and just made jokes about a death that just happened is just bullshit. It's just absolute bullshit. But yeah, man, that's all I really want to go through today. My next couple of videos, I'll try to make funnier. I didn't anticipate it being a serious kind of video today, man. That's a damn shame, though. Hate seeing that, especially because it just recently happened. You know, I mean, that September 23rd, I mean, it's not when it happened, but I mean, that was last year. That was less than last year, you know. But hey, man, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to get the videos back up, I promise. I'm going to start recording a lot more and all that good stuff. But I'll catch you guys later, all right? Go love somebody, go hug somebody, and always, I'll see you in the next episode. Deuces.